All right, welcome to episode 58 of the Beer and Bullshit Show. I am the host, Chris Bennett, and this is the episode before my, 43rd birthday.
You don't look a day over 22, honey.
Yeah, well, thank you. I love you too, Amy. All right. I think we already know what Scott's drinking, but I think he'll tell us anyway. Hey, Scott, what you sipping on, bro?
Man, you know me. I'm getting ready for Oktoberfest. It's going to be the end of the second week of September. So I'm going on with the Sam Adams Oktoberfest, and I decided to go full Stein. I've got a full liter here, so that's going to be me for this evening.
Praise the gods.
Don't you have a bigger glass? Is that the biggest glass you have? Come on.
If I had the 5 liter, I'd be doing that.
That is impressive.
Yeah, that's what I need.
I haven't seen you in a while, Scott.
Jeez. What's up?
Yeah, you're working. You haven't seen you in a while. You really got the mountain man look going on.
I got my Oktoberfest beard going on here. I got my long hair going back on here. Yeah, it's been like what?
Nice.
6 shows.
Couple months. Yep.
Yeah, I've been keeping track. I've been watching.
Ah.
So how you guys been, man? I haven't seen you guys in a while.
It's been way too
we're
long.
hanging in there. Jim Bab, I know you just got
right,
back from your beercation.
It's true. And the beer I have is one I haven't even trusted. She was in a beer store getting another beer, and she saw this, and she's like, let's see if... Yeah, having trouble opening it. Give me a sec. Anyway, yeah, I've been drinking some great beer, mostly from Maine, some from... some from Vermont, and then most recently I had some from Nova Scotia, and from Prince Edward Island. Had some pretty good beers in those places. All right, this one, but it's not like it's not like one of those like crappy Japanese beers they try to give you at a sushi restaurant. This one is it's called, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Kiuchi, Koichi Brewing from Japan, and this is owl on it. I don't know if you can see that, and it's 6.2% alcohol, brewed with orange peel. It's an IPA. From Japan. So, did you guys know they made IPAs in Japan?
Yep. A lot of the stuff that comes from that company, if you can actually find it fresh, is rather good.
All right. So this was new. It was a new to me. It's got a decent looking color. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't think I'd call it an IPA. It's more like a Pilsner with a touch of orange in it. I don't know why they call it IPA, but it's actually pretty tasty.
You do have to watch a lot of the Japanese imports too. Most of them are made with rice.
Who knows what this is made with? I have no idea. But anyway, Christina got it because she had one at a restaurant that had it It was a ginger beer, and she really liked it. So when she saw it in the beer store, she's like, "Oh, I got some of that. Get some of that." We also have a espresso stout, I think. So I'll try that one later on. Anyway, that's what I've got. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but different. So there you go.
Cool. All right, Amy. What you sipping on, girl?
Still following through with last week's barbecue. I have Guar beer. It is Odorous Ale. It's an American IPA. Surprisingly, Guar being from Richmond, Virginia. The beer is actually done from Cigar Brewing Company out of Florida. I think Tampa, I believe. Tampa.
Yep.
But anyways, it's a 6% alcohol served in 16-ounce cans, which I drank excessively last weekend at barbecue. But it's made with 7 hops, so instead of tasting like a normal American pale ale, it does taste a lot more like an IPA, but it still holds the really light color, which I'm not sure if you can see. It looks darker on the computer than it does while I'm actually drinking it. But it's rather tasty, and it'll put a minor little hurting on you.
You can tell it's borderline by the color, and I mean, if it's brewed with that many hops, you're definitely borderline.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they classified it as an APA instead of an IPA, but it's actually pretty good. Last year's Guar beer was oh gosh, I don't even remember what they called it, but it was a lot lighter. It was it was called the Kilsner, and it was definitely a Pilsner. It was a lot lighter. I think it was about 4.5 ABV, so it wasn't nearly as potent as this, but it was, this is definitely better.
They do switch it up every time that they do a beer, right?
Yeah. They even have a brewery here in Richmond that does the Guar bar. That does a beer called Guar's Blood, and Strange Ways, which they actually do a lot of really experimental beers, but it's pretty good.
Nice.
Actually, I think this Odorous Ale is a lot better than any of the other Guar beers they put out yet. But it's heavy metal nerd music, Richmond nerd, beer nerd, nerd all the way across the board nerd.
I mean, I don't see many people getting much more nerd than a juggalo.
No.
Wait a minute. How did juggalos get involved in this? What?
See?
Cheers to that. I think Guar would kill juggalos on stage.
Show-wise, yes.
All good fun.
Cool. Can you hear us, Pat? Okay. Can you talk to us?
Hey, let me just throw this out. If anybody's having a bandwidth issue, do you know how to reduce your bandwidth on Google Hangout? If you look at the top of the screen, there's it looks like a little bar graph in the center or the top menu. Select it. If you're not getting good bandwidth rate, lower your requirement. Put it down to medium or maybe even low. That might improve your connectivity. It's just a suggestion. Does everybody see that control?
Pat said she already did that.
I think you can even go to audio only if you drop it down enough. Yeah, audio only is the last one.
Well, isn't that nifty? Hi, Jessica.
Hey.
All right, Pat. Sorry.
We'll get back to you, Pat. Let's figure out what's up with your bandwidth. Let's get it working. Maybe reach.
Well, in the meantime, I'm drinking for starters. Okay, this is not the finisher. All right. Young's Double Chocolate Stout.
Nice.
No fair.
You already finished up your Stone IPAs for the day?
Oh no. That's next, Amy.
Oh.
You got to start light and finish heavy.
Oh, you're starting dark and finishing IPA, so.
Yeah.
Doing the opposite.
So.
What do you have going on, Jessica? I can't see you.
I've actually, well, I started at a brewery. I started at a brewery with.
Hence why your camera's kind of off a little bit.
What's your camera angle?
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Well, I started at a brewery, then I tried to drive home as fast as I could, and then I ended up with a Guinness Draft.
The Guinness draft in the can or in the bottle?
Sounds
Connection
like
must be bad.
couple too. Yeah. In the bottle.
Bottle.
So. All right, Jim.
Yo.
You don't have to, but tell us a little bit more about your beercation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, it started right before PorkFest with a trip through Vermont. And let's see, some of the interesting breweries. A new one for me this year was Lost Nation, which was pretty good. Lost Nation Brewery, where it was got some growlers to go, and we consumed those at PorkFest. Got to try some Lawson's for the first time this summer, which was pretty good. Sip of Sunshine, highly regarded IPA, was quite delicious, and I feel lives up to its hype. And then loaded up on a bunch of Hill Farmstead growlers, and man, those went quick at PorkFest. You know, I had like 10 of them too, and they were gone in like a couple days.
Nice.
I always think this is going to be enough. Nope, never enough. Let's see. Later, Southern Maine, I hit Maine Beer Company's one I always like to hit over there. Maine Beer Company's got some solid stuff. Lunch is their flagship sort of IPA. They have another one called Another One, and then they've got one called Mo, which is pretty good. So it's like I said, first you have some lunch, then you have some Mo, then you have another one. Good stuff.
And then
Yeah.
slow, and then slow.
Good stuff from Maine beer company. There's this one brewery called Atlantic Brewing, which is on Mount Desert Island, and it was like really close to my campground. And I like, you see their beer all over the place over there. Like, I really want to like these guys. And I tried them a couple times, and it was like, oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. So I'm like, well, I'm going to the brewery. I'm going to try everything they got before, final chance. Tasted everything they had. Every single beer, almost without exception, was just wretched.
Ugh.
So turns out people, their whole market seems to be people, tourists showing up going, I want to buy something local. What is it? And then they just give them this and they drink it because it's local and they don't know anything about beer. But that's just kind of the way it goes. But what else did I have? Let's see. Just on then we went up to Prince Edward Island. And I had one called Gahan, I think Gahan, and that was pretty solid. It was like a nice brew pub, brewed on Prince Edward Island. And then I found this really cool brewery in Nova Scotia called Big Spruce, and like the whole craft brewing thing hasn't really caught on up there yet. Like, there's only a couple local breweries, and I think their laws are really restrictive. They're not importing any. They import like Bud and like all the crappy beers. There's no imported craft beer that I could find. And I had to go to like a state-owned beer store. It's like pretty commie up there. But anyway, this Big Spruce was pretty good. It's like they brewed like three different beers. And I filled a growler to go, and like they were like talked beer with the guys for a while, and they gave us glasses, and they were just so pleased to have somebody stop in that actually knew about beer. So I have a growler from them. But then on the way home, I think this was the highlight of all the breweries I went to this summer was Oxbow. Have you guys ever heard of Oxbow Brewing in Portland, Maine? It's like growlers only, but man, these guys, it's like all farmhouse style that they make, and man, they really nail it. They totally nail it. I found out about it from the guys at Maine Beer Company. I was talking with the guy there, and we were just talking about different breweries, and he mentioned that one. He's like, I said, is it good? He goes, it's the best. So, that was coming from one of the other highly regarded breweries. So, anyway, turns out it's true. I got a couple of their growlers in my fridge, and I'd say that's about it for my beercation. What about you guys? I know you guys have been. Every one of you, I'm sure, has had some interesting beer adventures this summer.
Well, let's see. I had a good time with Nick and Ruby a couple weeks ago. They were at the Down Home Music Festival here in Springfield. They had over 130 beers on tap. From 36, 37 different microbreweries, decent music, good food, and we had a really good time. Haven't really been anywhere besides earlier this summer went to Three Floyds. Other than that, I really haven't gone really much anywhere. I need to go down to St. Louis, and they've got some their craft beer scene is in the last 4 or 5 years, so I need to head back down to St. Louis. Other than that, just just staying at home, drinking what I got. So.
Yeah, we have such a good beer scene here in Virginia that I really don't need to go very far. We've got a lot of great farm breweries, and just down the road, just south of us, we have Noda Brewing Company, which does hop, drop, and roll. Right next to them is Birdsong, which has a really interesting jalapeno pale ale. And then up north we have Loose Cannon and Flying Dog and Dewclaw, which definitely come up with some really interesting combinations. So I don't really need to go very far. I'd like to, but I don't need to. It just seems like everything's kind of close, and it keeps me comfortable and not very dry. So.
Did you?
That's what I found out with house sitting. 2 miles down the road, there's like this awesome brewery, and they have this beer called Dolly's Pardon. It is the best beer I have ever had.
Really? Now, where is that?
It's like 2 miles down the road. Well, you probably don't know. It's in Banner Elk. It's in North Carolina.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Oh, are you in North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, damn. I'm
Yeah,
only
the
north of
mountain.
you. Oh,
Yeah, I
near
know.
Asheville, or are you
No,
near
it's like up
Asheville?
on-
Or?
Like an hour and a half, like north.
So you're
Northeast?
closer to Virginia. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you're not too
It's
far
like
from
the
me. We should go
Tennessee-
stay together.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I've done. I'm like, yes. I house sitted for the past since Saturday, and I've been to that brewery every night. And they're like, they have this card where you get like 10 punches, and you get like a growler free. So I'm like going there every night so I can get my free growler.
Nice.
Hey,
I mean,
gotta do what you gotta do.
It'll work.
in my opinion, one of the best breweries in Virginia happens to be Hardywood.
Hardywood is amazing, and I said I was going to. I thought I was going to send Chris a beer for his birthday, and my month kind of got out of hand. I'm sure Chris knows everything. I've been kind of dealing with this month, but the best beers from Hardywood come out around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I got cases of the Bourbon Barrel Gingerbread Stout last year, which was much coveted and absolutely delicious.
Haven't had that one, but I've had the original, and it's just like fun.
Oh my God, the Bourbon Barrel Gingerbread. I got 2 cases of it, and I had to run around the state to get it because there was like a 1 or 2 bottle limit. So I ran around the state and got as much as I possibly could, and I only shared 2 bottles. It was that good.
The original is just that amazing, where I would do the same thing with the original.
Oh, it was delicious. But funny thing is, I sent it to my friend in Maryland. So he was the only one that got any of that. So Chris will probably get a couple good bottles from Hardywood come Christmas time, since I didn't forget his birthday, but the beers in Virginia right now are kind of, I mean, they're good, but
Meh.
if you're going to send somebody something, you need to send them the best.
Right.
And the best stuff comes from Hardywood at Christmas. So.
All right.
So don't think I forgot about you, Chris.
It's okay. I can appreciate some Christmas beer. Although right now is the best time of year, but Christmas is pretty good too.
I know you like your IPAs, but there's something about stouts that come out around Christmas. Oh my God, they're.
I got my best favorite, so I'm happy.
he's got the giant beer glass, so of course he's happy.
Well, that and the Utopia.
No, wait. You were supposed to wait till Christmas.
No. No. Man, no. And it's amazing. No.
No, I'm really excited about the pumpkin beers getting ready to come out. I know so many people hate them, but we've got like our local little farm breweries that they actually grow their own little sweet pumpkins there, and they make their little beers out of their sweet pumpkins. Nice. They don't come out early. They don't they don't come out until mid-fall because they're not using canned yams or anything like that. I know we've talked about this before, but I'm really excited to have some fresh pumpkin beer for fall. Not some of the weird mass-produced stuff. Even though I've already tried Sam Adams's pumpkin beer, and
they've got 3 out this year. Which ones you have?
Oh, I bought the whole pack, and I wasn't really impressed with any of them.
Harvest
I got some Maple Mistress, too, from Saucony Creek. I've got a couple of the other different pumpkin beers. My fridge is pretty stocked, but I'm still waiting on my local stuff because my local stuff is always the best.
The Harvest Pumpkin from Sam's this year was a little weak, but their Fat Jack was on point. That's in a 22-ounce bottle. And then they released a new one called Pumpkin Batch, which is a Saison brewed with pumpkin and spices. And that just blew me away because it was not only a point-blank Saison, and they nailed the Saison flavors, but it's like as it melded through the flavors, it kind of turned it into an ending of a pumpkin-esque kind of ale. So I was like, oh, this is like the epitome of fall.
Yum.
I've had the pumpkin patch, but I still think that the Traveler's Pumpkin Shandy is better.
I still got that too.
So
they have that here, so I'm gonna have to try it.
It's good.
So
I think the pumpkin shanty would actually be an entryway into anybody that wants to get into the pumpkin style beers. Start off with that because it is very light in flavors and it's very light in body as well. So that's why we were sitting here watching football getting the other last weekend, and my wife was like, well, go ahead and give me one. So I was like, oh well, start with this. She drank half the glass in like less than like 2 quarters.
Now my favorite 2 that I've had this year, this is probably my first favorite that I've had.
Shack with Pumpkin Ale is awesome.
I think it's delicious, and even though I've had Aleworks pumpkin, which I love everything from Aleworks, the Maple Mistress this year is particularly delicious.
I haven't had that one yet, so I'll have to look for that one.
It's very, very good. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that are going to come out that are going to be better than that, but so far, I can't resist my pumpkin beers.
Well, Shapley's is considered one of the best.
Oh, it's absolutely delicious.
At least you're not drinking like some Southern Tier or something,
No, I did have the Southern Tier pumpkin, and it really wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of good.
I went 3 ways of Sunday with that beer this year already. The first bottle that I bought was the Born on date was back in like 6, 8, and I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead. This is the first batch of the year. It was a drain pour.
Oh, wow.
It was so bad with the spices that it was burning the back of my throat.
you know what, Scott? I know my distributor doesn't carry that. That's another distributor that carries this the Southern Tier is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the pumpkin.
The pumpkin and you're not the first person that has said that.
Yeah, that batch, I don't know what it was, but that's what I put up on Facebook. I put up not only the bottle, my description, but I put up the born-on date as well, because, I mean, it could have just been that batch, because I've already had it off tap twice in 2 different spots. And the first spot, I got more of a bubblegum flavor in the pumpkin, so I'm like, nah, it's a little off here. But I had it at one of my favorite spots. You see me post from there all the time, up in Kent, and it was amazing up there. And I've already had the Warlock, which is their stout or porter version. And this year, it's actually increased in ABV, and it's now 10%.
Well, I tell you what, I had one of the beers that I liked from Southern Tier was the creme brulee that I liked in years past. I just had their 2015 version of it. It is so much sweeter.
Oh yeah.
It is almost intolerable.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before it was almost irresistible. I don't know what they're doing differently, and I don't really have an issue so much with Southern Tier because I mean sometimes their beers are great, sometimes their beers are awful.
Inconsistency.
But I mean they yes, they're so inconsistent. But the creme brulee for this year is absolutely horrid.
Yeah, it's way over sweet, where before it was just like you got more of what was supposed to be the cake version of it, where this time around it seems like it's more along the lines of the icing version.
Yes, it's painful.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me now?
We can hear
We can hear you.
Hi! The old
There she
trick of
is.
plugging it back in. Okay.
Right again.
Whew, that was difficult.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it though. I told Chris I wasn't drinking beer tonight. I was drinking New Amsterdam vodka, fresh squeezed apple juice with a garnish of blueberries. We just picked this last weekend or the weekend before.
Oh, she's making a grog.
She's taking beer to a whole new level.
You do live well, don't you, Pat?
I do my best. Yes, I do. I'm making apple butter as we speak.
Excellent. Excellent.
From our own apple tree.
Yeah, Jimmy says from our own apple tree.
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to open.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, the
Uh-oh.
Ruin 10.
Easy, breaking out the stone.
Yep. Got the stone. Actually, I've had this one for a while, but I wanted to save it for this show. So
Nice. I just tried that for the first time.
As much as everyone in Richmond and everyone, the anti-corporate world loves to hate Stone, he makes some damn good beer.
They're my go-to IPA company.
Oh, I've got a whole shelf full of bottles of Chai Spice Russian Imperial Stout sitting in the bottom of my beer fridge right now.
At the beginning of the year, I just popped a 2012 original version of their Russian Imperial Stout, and it was just phenomenal.
Have you had the Chai Spice?
I have not yet.
Oh my holy Jesus, Mother of the Gods! It's
Nice.
it's better than sex. It's that good. It's heavenly.
That's the reason why I have my.
You might need a better boyfriend. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a damn good beer.
Hey, that might be their new slogan right there, Amy. Be like, such
this beer is better than sex.
Better than sex.
And you know what? It doesn't talk back. It doesn't try to snuggle.
Right. Hallelujah. Somebody else that says the same thing.
But doesn't take the garbage out.
You You just piss it away the next morning.
Just throw it out the big bay window.
Kaboom, baby.
That's great. So, Chris, what is the alcohol content on the Ruin 10? Isn't it like 10.6 or something like that?
Oh, it's a triple. It's got to be huge.
I thought it was just 10%.
It's over 10.
Come on, Chris. What's the ABV?
Internet connection error.
It's that potent that it stopped him in his tracks.
Well, at least he's got a smile on his face.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, it's 10.8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So they did increase it.
I told you were going to be drunk.
I drank a whole bomber of that this past week. It was the first time I ever tried it.
Really?
I'm like, I had bought it assuming, thinking I'd be sharing it with somebody, but no, I just drank the whole thing in literally like about a half an hour. I just kind of was at a pool, and I was like, well, I'm drinking it. And
Oh, yeah.
it's like, I really wanted a nap afterwards.
Yeah, you probably ended up in a Speedo.
Oh, God.
James Babb in a Speedo.
Oh my.
Unlikely.
As long as it's not a thong Speedo. Holy shit.
So, Chris,
I don't know.
how do you like it?
It's got a nice balance of the citrus hops and the malt, and it goes down really smooth.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I could see why, Jim Babb, you drank a 22-ounce bomber of this in the 30-minute period. Because most people, especially if they're not craft beer drinkers, would have taken this lightly. But we're professionals here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
we know how to drink it and survive. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. I just figured, what, I wasn't driving anywhere. I was hanging around. I'm like, this is a good time to put that one down. It's not a
You have
driving
Speedo
around.
handy.
I at least have one of those handy every time they come out because of the fact that Stone was my very first IPA company, and they got me really into it because I dove into the craft beer world, and it was just like, okay, and then I hit a rock bottom with my first IPA was a double IPA, and it was just like, oh God, no, I couldn't do it. But I brought myself to, try Stone's, Ruination, their original. And that's what brought me into the IPA world. And now that I've tried so many of them, it's just like, okay, well, they're all starting to taste alike now. Certain companies do a little something to, like, throw some other ingredient in there or to, throw a new hop variety in there to kind of switch it up. And I'll try it. But it's just like, oh, okay, so it's just another, either American double IPA or an American IPA, because that is not the true style of the IPA.
I'll tell you the IPA that kind of changed my life. I liked IPAs mainly because I like a higher ABV.
Right.
But as far as taste goes, I really didn't get into the grapefruit flavoring so much, and a lot of the IPAs had such a heavy grapefruit aftertaste that it kind of turned me off. And I was looking for something for a friend of mine who loves grapefruit, and I asked my local beer connoisseur guy who works here at a place called the Bucket Trade, which is like the best like little beer store in town, and he's like, why don't you try the Ballast Point grapefruit sculpin?
Nice.
I'm like, well, okay. I was like, okay, I'll get that for him. I'll see how he likes it. And I decided to have one, and I drank one. And I was like, holy crap, this is delicious. And it almost, it's like that one beer changed my whole palate.
Interesting.
But I've got a whole new respect for grapefruit IPAs, and yes, delicious. But anyways, I heard there is a possibility that they are going to be opening a second location out here in Virginia, which is yet to be seen. But
I heard that.
we are anxiously waiting. So we will have all of our wonderful breweries plus our state-sanctioned zone, along with possibly Ballast Brewing Company, which would be very interesting. But they're tried all their different sculpins, but the grapefruit sculpin is hands down one of the best IPAs I've ever had.
I absolutely love not only their original Sculpin, but I adore and I absolutely love their habanero Sculpin. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, it's got a little bit too much of a burn afterwards. I mean, I've had it. I mean, it's kind of like Birdsong from down in North Carolina, down in Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's got a nice burn, but you feel like you need a milk stout afterwards, you know?
No, see, I've had where
It's
at the
not
bottom of
bad.
the bottle,
It's different.
at the bottom of the bottle, it'll tell you that the heat may vary. I've had it where it wasn't hot at all, and then I had it where it was just so insanely hot I couldn't finish it.
Oh, it set my ass on fire.
Sounds like they could use some
I don't
quality
mean
control.
literally.
Yeah.
The last beer we brewed was a Mexican stout, a dark chocolate stout, and then what was the pepper and the other? The ghost pepper.
Nice.
Together, and if you mix the two together, it was like eating a dish of mole. You had that chocolate stout taste and the cinnamon.
That
and then
sounds
the
great.
heat. It was awesome.
Columbus Brewing Company, Elevator Brewing Company does one. It's a ghost pepper lager, and it was insanely hot, but it was so good.
There's a
sounds
hint of
weird.
pineapple inherent in the ghost pepper,
Yeah.
and it goes well with a lot of things.
I mean, even in the elevator version, it was like all of a sudden you got a burst and a real big hit of that lager flavors with the malt and the husks and the yeast, and then it was just like your mouth was like lit up on fire. You got a little bit of citrus. You got a lot of heat.
You're the guy who has to put hot sauce on your eggs every morning, aren't you?
Oh hell no. No, I'm not the guy that wakes up every morning and goes, "Oh, guess what? I've got the shits."
Heat on my eggs, but not habanero or the ghost pepper. It's too much.
You know, did you guys ever have the? There's a stone that's I don't know how you pronounce this. Xocoveza.
Chocoveza. Oh my
Chocoveza,
God, that was the
yeah.
best beer ever.
That was lovely.
I classify that as my favorite beer I've ever had. It was a collaboration. I don't remember who it was a collaboration with, but oh my God, I love that stout. It was so good. Chocoveza. Outstanding beer.
I found one on the shelf. There was kind of like this beer stars, and it had like this discount rack, I guess, of like stuff that had been around for a year, and I grabbed one on there. It was the first time I had tried it. I guess it had probably been aging for like a year or two, so I think that probably helped it. It was pretty nice. Yeah, it's got like cinnamon and chocolate and coffee and really nice flavors in there.
It is like loving your tummy. It's so delicious. I would like to smack somebody upside the head to get some Chocoveza right now. Like, non-aggression principle out the window. It's like, Chocoveza, I will beat you for it.
Nice.
Now,
Yeah, good
being
stuff.
that you're in Virginia, do you guys get anything whatsoever from a company called Flying Monkeys?
We get it.
I've never heard of them.
You get flying monkeys down in South Carolina.
Where are flying monkeys from?
Canada.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm sure we probably could get them here, but I haven't yet. Why, is there anything special I need to ask for?
Oh God.
Okay, do tell. Come on, start spilling secrets. We gotta know.
I've already had. I've talked about this beer before with everybody here, most of the people here. It's the Flying Monkeys Chocolate Manifesto. It's a triple chocolate milk stout.
Ooh, yeah. Now I remember this.
It comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. It's made with Forest Garden shade-grown cocoa nibs, roasted whole cocoa powder, and chocolate malt. And it is just to die for. It's like a chocolate lover's heaven in a glass.
Yum. That sounds awesome.
I love chocolate milk stout.
Nice. I will definitely ask for it.
Yeah, if you can't find it, let me know, because we get it in abundance up here.
Where are you at?
Ohio.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Right, I mean, everything in my home, if you see my home, everything in it screams Boston, but I'm sitting here in crappy-ass Ohio.
It's all right.
You have the biggest beer glass out of all of us, so I mean that's kind of a win.
Yay!
It could be worse. Scott, you could be sitting here in crappy-ass Illinois.
Yeah, but you're not that far from Three Floyds. I mean, shit, come on.
True.
I mean, all I could say is that, oh, guess what? I'm only, 30 minutes from Thirsty Dog, Hoppin' Frog, or an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Great Lakes, but woohoo!
Hey, I'm in New Hampshire, and it's awesome here as far as beer is concerned. I think so, anyway.
Just due to your proximity to Maine and Vermont, at least.
Come on,
Right.
everybody's getting ready to yank it up, and I can't wait for their beer.
It's, I guess it's just New Hampshire just seems behind, like especially just compared to the neighbors on either side. They got some catching up to do. I'm looking forward to this. I guess the laws changed recently to encourage the nano breweries, so let's see what,
It's taken some time for that to come to fruition, but Area 23 is in the last, I guess, steps of its nano brewery licensing.
Okay.
So they're just serving local stuff now, and it's been kind of nice tasting some of the things you don't get to taste normally. And when they finally get to roll out their beer, it's going to be fun. I
can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, I love going to New Hampshire, and I think that probably the Free State Project would have succeeded by now if they had had better beer. I think it's been.
That's where Area 23 is run by Free Staters, so that should help that a lot.
Is it in Manchester or where is that?
In Concord.
Okay.
Concord, as they say around here.
Yes, Concord.
Able Ebenezer is Free State run also.
Which one?
Able Ebenezer.
Never heard of it. So good.
They're
Hanover
good.
Brewery.
Well, and Hanover Brewery is right down the road. It's like 10 minutes from me.
Well, why don't these breweries all have major displays at PorkFest?
That's a good question.
Come on, guys.
I was going to say,
Why don't you have your own
they'd
radio
output more
show with
beer.
that perfect radio voice?
What?
Why doesn't he have his own radio show with that perfect radio voice?
Chris
Who?
does have a perfect radio. So does Jim Bath.
I do. I do have a radio show.
Do you?
Well, it's not my show, but I'm a co-host on Freedom Fiends. So.
Jimmy has a face for radio.
He does have a face for radio. Oh, come on. He's cute.
No, hi, Jimmy.
Yeah, look at him. He's turning like 5 shades of red.
These girls are bullies.
Hey, there's the 6th shade.
Nice.
He said it first.
I love it. I love it.
You all are adorable. I'll be back in just a minute. I'm gonna leave you with my beer summit partner, but I'll be back.
All right.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Well, anyway, I don't know if you guys caught, and I pasted on my Facebook page, the comparison beer review I did between the two hard root beers that are out.
Did.
And that video has surpassed our #1 viewed beer and bullshit episode.
Uh-oh.
So.
I will pull out your headphones for just one second. Popping.
What is
I
Scott
prefer
doing?
Coney Island.
Yep.
Am I the only one that's not like even interested in trying alcoholic root beer? Everybody's talking about it. I just can't seem to get any interest. I don't know.
It unless you have an affiliation and a love for root beer specifically, then it's just going to be like, ugh, okay.
Kind of like Jim Bab and pumpkin beers. He says
Right.
He would rather pour it down the drain than drink it.
Right. And
it's okay, Jim. It's okay, Jim Bab.
I'm like, you guys remember
that's how
the little candy barrels that used to come out when we were all kids and stuff. And they taste like root beer. This is exactly what those taste like.
Okay.
Now, the Not Your Father's root beer, it's way too sweet for me.
Yep. Agreed.
And
you know how you have dessert wine? The
right.
root beer
that is so
beer.
that is
right.
so odd, because most of the guys that I've talked to that have had the Coney Island like the Coney Island over the Not Your Father's. But a lot of the females that like the Not Your Father's over the Coney Island. So,
just like when I'm sitting there, advocating Sam's to everybody, when it comes to the ladies, though, I more or less along the lines advocate the Angry Orchard and the hard and the Traveler beers, more along the lines of the shanties to the females, because of the fact that they're just coming in and they're like, oh, well, what should I try? Oh, okay, well.
That sounds horribly sexist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm going to hand somebody...
Not all women like shit beer, honey.
You're not going to start...
Okay, let's start here.
You're not going to start a woman with an IPA if she's never...
Yeah, let's start with the Abyss. I mean, this is a big stout that's aged in so many bourbon barrels and whiskey barrels and everything else, and then I'm going to give this to somebody that's starting out. Yeah, right.
Male or female.
Right.
I don't think the sex really is. I mean, especially considering that our three ladies on our panel right now probably have more beer experience and knowledge than 99% of the dudes I know. So maybe 99.9%.
But if I sit there and say, okay, well, here, try this, you're going to love it. No, they're not. They're just going to think that it's just like ungodly.
I think that's there's a trajectory for people in their palate development.
Right.
Right. And some people, are different. What did you say, Pat?
Gateway beers.
Gateway beers. Right. I think that probably a lot of people are turned off to beer because the first beer they got was some like crappy Budweiser or some shit, and they're just like, nope, I don't like beer. Like,
I remember the first beer I ever had. My grandpa gave it to me when I was camping with him when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. It was a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Me too.
Yeah.
I will still occasionally drink a Pabst Blue Ribbon, God forbid.
Hey, do you remember this,
man? But
Oh yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
yes, it is an evolution. But I remember the first time I took a sip of his beer, I think I spit it across the campsite. Like it was the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. I didn't develop a taste for beer
Until age
I was
7.
No, I know actually.
It stopped your beer drinking for 2 years.
No, actually, I was in the army. I drank wine coolers, things like that, liquor drinks. But once I joined the army, I was stationed at Fort Campbell, which is 101st Airborne Division, and I was still drinking Zima and rubbish like
Oh.
that, and that I was one of only 2 females in my barracks. So naturally, that made me, a target for all the men, and they would always bring like 12 packs of beer to my room, and I started drinking beer. I mean, free beer, free alcohol, and I gradually acquired a taste for it, and then
You
we
mean
had
you mean all the Rangers weren't drinking Zima? I just
no, they really weren't into Zima. They were more into like the Bud Light, the Budweiser, the rubbish.
Yeah.
We did have a local craft brewery at the time. I don't remember what it was called, but it was in Clarksville, Tennessee. But they made a vanilla beer that was really good, and we're talking about like 1993, 94, and but anyways, they used to do pictures of black and tan, so they'd mix their vanilla beer with Guinness. And to me, I mean, it was the greatest thing in the world. I was like, wow, this is delicious, So I kind of evolved from there, but it started young, but it progressed quickly once I got the taste for it. So
My dad brewed his own beer in a 50-gallon trash can,
Nice.
and I was chief bottle capper. We put it up in Coca-Cola bottles.
Nice.
And it was seriously ABV. I have no idea what it actually was. But we were allowed to drink it at home. But we would steal a couple of bottles or two and go out and, raise hell.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
See, my family brewed moonshine. We thought that was great.
Oh, yeah, moonshine too. Yeah, our neighbor was a distributor for moonshine. We used to get it all the time.
My dad had left his on the little counter when I was like knee high. I don't remember. He would get with my grandfather on the weekends, and they would be upstairs. My dad would play accordion. My grandfather would play his guitar. His brother would play the drums and whatnot. And they were having a good old time. But it was it was either Tennessee or Miller Lite. Or my grandfather's favorite beer was Miller Genuine Draft, and those I tried all 3 of them when I was younger, and it was just like it was bleh. But the one beer that I had to get when I was teen to legal age up to now, every single holiday season, every single year, I picked up the Oktoberfest, and that's where I got hooked to beer.
I just want you guys to know I just opened up
The
one of these guys.
Nice.
Ooh.
I couldn't wait on my pumpkin beer. Oh my god, it's so good.
I hope
Shaftesbury's is good.
I hope that one is better this year than last year, because I wasn't thrilled with it last year.
Oh, it's like pumpkin pie with whipped cream on top. It's num num.
Goodness.
It's
Well,
fabulous.
the first show in October will be the fall beer show. Okay, where you can bring whatever fall beers you want to bring in on the show. I decided not to make a distinction between the pumpkin beer or the October.
Oh, well, there's a big distinction, but other than that,
It'll be the fall beer show.
Well, the biggest thing that goes on around here is that our local craft beer bar, they actually have a Martzen versus Pumpkin Beer Fest. So, I mean, you got like 12 taps of nothing but pumpkin beers, 12 taps of nothing but Martzen style Oktoberfest beers, and, you know, they pick a winner at the end, you know, with, you know, how many votes that each side gets.
I think there should be, each side should get all, like, drink as much as they can and then fight. Like,
I've tried that before.
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I've tried that before, and they were like, dude, you need to go home.
Now there's a brewery here. It's a brand new place up somewhere between me and DC, where they have a carrot-based beer. But
Nice.
they don't do bottles. It's only growlers or you know beer on site. But I really want to go try that out.
I would love it if somebody actually did like a
Yeah,
carrot cake beer or a carrot
That's
cake
what
stout.
they're doing. Yeah, that's what they're
Nice.
doing. It's gotta be good.
Oh God.
Is it orange?
Yeah,
I
and
don't
good.
know. I haven't tried it yet.
And
Want to go
and-
try it?
It's
take
either
you
going to
with
be an
me.
ale or it's going to be a stout, one of the two.
And you know what they should do? What they should do is they should take the carrot. They should take the carrot cake stout and age it in rum barrels.
Oh God.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, what was it? Jameson actually started releasing their barrels this year to the craft beer industry. So there's going to be a lot of craft beer, whether it's on tap at the breweries or if they actually bottle it, that's going to be done in Jameson whiskey now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
And
Hey, you
the first one was actually a IPA that got done in Jameson whiskey barrels.
That could be interesting.
That
Oh.
could be really interesting.
Yeah, I would love to try that. It was up in, I believe it was in New York. It was a small craft beer company. He said there's a big webcast on it that he said that he was messaging the owner back and forth, and he went over there. He got to pick out his barrels, and then he went back, and then he took the same guy back. He said, "Come over in a year, and then we'll see how the beer turned out." So they took him back, and he came over. He tried it. He said he loved it. So if you look on, I don't know if it's just Facebook that does it or if there's a viral video out there. It's called the Guinnesson Roll or Family Roll or something like that. It's a video where you see the Guinness barrel rolling through these different beer companies. And those beer companies were chosen by Guinness to receive X amount of barrels to make and barrel age a beer in those barrels. I'm so excited because of the fact that nobody in the United States, besides that one guy at the time, has ever aged Guinnesson beer in the barrels. But Guinness themselves had actually come out with a Guinness product that it was their Guinness aged in a beer barrel. So I'd like to try that too and see if they if it actually has any kind of stout qualities.
Why not? Hey, you know, I had an interesting beer recently. You guys were talking about Stone. You guys have had Arrogant Bastard, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Probably double Bastard and well.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
I drank an Arrogant Bastard at a place I never thought I would see it. It was at Maine Beer Company.
Okay.
Stone has like given out the recipe to like a few other breweries, and they're doing like some kind of like charity fundraiser. So right in the tap room with the Maine Beer Company, they had Arrogant Bastard that they had made to the exact specifications of Stone, and we're selling it along with their own beers for charity.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, but it wasn't a collaboration. It was just here's the recipe. This is how you do it, and they brewed some, and we're selling it. So.
Wow, that's unique.
Has anybody had the bourbon aged arrogant bastard?
That sounds pretty good.
No,
I
I
have.
haven't. How is it?
It is very, very good. I've had the they do a bourbon barrel version, and then they do just a plain oak version of it until you get out there to the brewery or to their brew pub, and then they actually do multiple variations of it.
So my taxpayer subsidies are going to go over really well, huh?
I'm thinking that Richmond is becoming a beer destination now. I'm mentally planning my next beercation. Like might be to the south. It sounds pretty awesome.
I think
Asheville. Get that.
Asheville. I was just going to say Asheville. There are a few breweries down in the Asheville area in North Carolina that you should try out.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I mean,
I
don't
still
get
get
me
it.
wrong. I mean, you should definitely hit NOTA if you go to North Carolina. Definitely hit NOTA in Charlotte. But Richmond, come on, man, come hang out with me.
I still gotta
I'm
get
there.
down to Tampa. Tampa, I mean, Cigar City Brewing Company is just phenomenal.
no. What we need to do, okay?
Richmond,
is we need a
you all should just come to Richmond.
We need,
All of you.
we need to kidnap Amy, okay, and go down to that one bar in Raleigh, North Carolina, where they've got 200
Yes.
something
Yes.
taps, okay?
Yes.
Just go there.
Come take me away, please.
That would be the beercation for me anyway.
Road
That would
trip,
be a beer vacation.
Road trip, yep.
shotgun.
It just hit every mic.
I'll just lay in the trunk and sleep.
And we should just hit every microbrewery between Richmond and freaking Raleigh.
October.
Oh my God, you'd be wasted before you even left Richmond.
Let's hire a van driver. Like hire a driver to get us there.
Hey, Chris, you should ask Angela and Emmett about Oktoberfest in Charlotte.
Wait a minute. Scott's opening the $200 bottle of what is that?
Utopia.
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 700 vendors, Chris.
It's $10 a sip. Isn't it?
$25 for 2 ounces.
Jesus.
Oh my God, you're drinking beer like I drink scotch. Ouch.
Is it
If I can
flat?
get it- let's see if I can get it to show up on cam.
Looks
Is
pretty
it-
black.
See if you can see the alcohol legs. There you go.
Wow.
Is it flat? How long? I mean,
Yeah, it is. It's if you smell it, you get nothing but port, whiskey, maple syrup. It's phenomenal. You can smell a little bit of vanilla in it.
Sure.
You
I
can definitely smell the alcohol. I mean, the alcohol comes in at like 28%.
I would never pay $200 for a freaking bottle of beer. It better be if I ever do, it better just be naked, stripped on a freaking stripper pole or something.
Hey, this right here
The
is
last time I paid that much for a bottle of alcohol, it was a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue, and it was $300, and it was pretty disappointing. I think I got a better pull off of a bottle of Glenlivet 18-year single malt.
ooh,
111.
I love Glenlivet over Johnny.
But
Sorry.
to Charlotte Oktoberfest, they have 700 vendors.
Yes. They do.
Our Oktoberfest in Cincinnati pulled last year alone 600,000 people.
Yeah, that sounds like Charlotte. It's crazy.
We in Cincinnati are the biggest United States Oktoberfest in the world. Besides the Germanian Oktoberfest, where it's just oh god, it's unbelievable.
You guys can't make spaghetti worth a hoot.
Depending on your version of spaghetti, I mean, people in their Cincinnati chili. Oh God.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely seem like you're enjoying it. It's good.
Das ist gut. Das ist gut.
It's good.
Unprosit.
Roast.
Unprosit. Oh God. That's what you call better than sex.
So this is the better than sex episode?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the beer bullshit better than sex episode.
This is me having a toast to our host's birthday.
Yay!
Better than sex episode. For Chris's birthday.
Hey, Chris.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Nothing but the best for Chris.
I'm still sipping on that Ruin 10, so.
He's sipping on the Ruin 10 now. He's not gulping.
Exactly. I'm not gulping it down, that's for sure.
So then you're not getting the full effect. It's not going to ruin you if you sip it. The whole idea is to
gulp it, because that's why it's called Ruin 10.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. He's missing the point, isn't he?
Yeah, right. What I love about this one so much is that if anybody's kind of followed along or old enough to follow the history of the beer, they actually had quite a few beers that they age and blend together, like their Triple Bock, their Millennium, which I mean, I absolutely adore the 1994. Triple Bock aged this long, because you get a lot of the barrel flavors out of it. You get a lot of maple syrup. You get a lot of the husk flavors, the malt flavors, port flavors, whiskey, wine, cognac. It all comes together right here, and it's a phenomenal beer. Even though the first year that it was ever made, it actually won gold over a tasting of a $250 bottle of cognac, and they chose this over that, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, people's flavors profiles are evolving because of the craft beer industry, and even the hard liquor industry. I mean, you can see now that there's a lot of more spiced rums, spiced liquors, more bigger flavors inside of, like, what do you want to call it? The cognacs, the whiskeys, the rums. They're barrel aging all their stuff with other things, or doing variations compared to what they've done within the last 100 years. So therefore, the flavor profile of people has become more advanced. So I can also see the craft beer industry doing the same and leading the front of the liquor industry. Because if you look at some of the craft beer companies, they also do distilleries. And they're collaborating their beers with their distillery.
Bring it.
Matter of fact, I just seen it today. Ballast Point is actually coming out with their canned line of mixed drinks, I did see a margarita. I did see a Bloody Mary. I did see a couple other things. They got like 4 different styles that they're doing. Because I know that they actually have a distillery. I have a bottle of Anchor Steam's hop vodka, and you can actually taste the hops in there before you get the burn of the vodka. So I mean, it seems like they're doing a very good job out there with a distillery as well.
It's going to be interesting to see if they come out here to Virginia.
Yeah, right. Because I'm expecting, especially with Ballast Point. I mean, they're almost nationwide. So I'm hoping that they bring their stuff out this way.
Which will mean that you'll be drunk before you leave Richmond, Virginia.
Close to that.
And that's bad because...
Right. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Okay, maybe we might have to.
My city's gonna be a destination.
Maybe we might have to revise the trip a little bit. Maybe.
Brought up 4. What do you think about Richmond?
So we could get at least out of Richmond. So, is there any?
Yeah, you can make it out of Richmond, but you're not gonna make it out of Richmond sober.
Right.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
So, is there any beer anybody's really looking forward to? I mean, that's coming out, or
Nosferatu.
Oh God. I see that in abundance so much. It's just like insane when it comes out.
I think I just saw something on the Facebook page. It's like out, just like out right now.
So it's in the bottling process, and the first batches are going out.
Yeah, it's like in the pub right now. So
Right.
who makes that one?
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. I'd be surprised if we get any out here. I mean, what was that? What was it last year? The chill wave.
Yep.
We got like Springfield, Illinois got like 2 cases, and it was out like that.
Why'd they bother sending 2 cases?
That's all.
Limited.
That's all they were. That's all the distribution was allotted for.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
well, you know what's weird is we get
That's
Great
the way
Lakes. We get Great Lakes at Wegmans grocery
But
store.
last year, they were allotted, I think, 20 cases of Oktoberfest, the Great Lakes Oktoberfest, and it went out like that. But this year, they were given a little bit more than that, I think. So, and it's still on the shelves and stuff like that. So, I'll be surprised to see it on the shelf here if it comes here.
There you go.
Wow, that was good.
One thing we've got going on here in Virginia, which is really not the best beer in the world, but the Iron Maiden beer, they have a second wave of it coming out. I'm not real sure exactly how it's going to be. Because the Iron Maiden beer, the original one, to me was kind of boring.
They upped the ABV in the new one.
Well, they're doing an album release with with a local record company here. So,
Yep.
But anyways, my local beer hole is gonna be the secondary listening party pre-order
Nice, I guess.
for the album, and we're gonna get the first taste of the beer too. So I'm hoping it's a little bit better than the first one, but you know.
They should have a marketing scheme for that one and combine it with like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Let me tell you what, the people that own like my little beer store down the street, they're brilliant. I mean, they do like, they've got their metal nights, their metal trivia nights. They mix in like the Beavis and Butthead and all the serious weirdness, and yeah, it's a fabulous disaster, but it's beautiful. We have a lot of fun.
Remember the Ballast Points? I did find all the stuff that they're coming out with, and I will list the beers that they are made with first. Has anybody had Old Grove?
No.
Three Sheets?
No.
And Fugu Vodka.
Fubu vodka?
Yeah, Fugu Vodka.
That's that Japanese blowfish that kills you. That's what fugu is. So.
Well, the Old Grove is made as a gin and tonic. The Three Sheets gets two versions, and it's a rum and cola and a rum and ginger. And the Fugu Vodka is a Bloody Mary. It says the perfect cocktail for a beer break. Canned cocktails coming soon.
What is the alcohol content? I always see these pre-mixed cocktails, and I say, like, that's not going to be strong enough. Like, I just assume it's not the way I would make a cocktail, right? If it's appealing to the masses.
Cans, but you can't tell. It looks like the Three Sheets rum and ginger looks like 7.8 or 7.9. The rum and cola looks like it's 5.8. The gin and tonic looks like it's 4.2 or 4.3, and the Bloody Mary looks like it's really, really low.
Yeah.
See, just double or triple all of those, and I might want to try it.
Right.
That's like it's like wine coolers or something, like no thanks.
Well, that's what I think that they're trying to get at is like kind of like how Budweiser did their margaritas. Now this company's trying to do their versions of mixed drinks and get into it.
I'm with Jim Bab. This is like to hear with vodka then apple juice.
Yeah, like Jim Bab said too. I mean, they posted up. The Ballast Point also does a Fugu Ballast Point vodka, and they posted up a bottle picture of it.
Nice. I like the concept,
Right.
Live dangerously.
Right, Blowfish vodka. Okay. Everybody seems within the next year or so is doing nothing but canned versions. Even Sam's is getting a lot into the cans and doing the nitro canned versions. And I've seen Ballast Point doing cans. I've seen quite a few beer companies doing cans, and I'm actually looking forward to it because it's better for the beer.
Yeah. No, I'd like to see all beer in cans. Why not?
Right. I mean, why not?
Who cares what it's poured out of, right?
Especially if you're drinking in the bathtub. I just don't feel like I don't want to bring glass bottles into the bathtub, right?
I still don't. I tend to only have a glass, and I take the glass with me, and whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to take it to the pool or the beach. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I used to be the type that are like, if it's not in bottle, then forget it. But, as of lately, I think Jim Bab kind of started me on it when he sent, some Heady Topper, and it was in cans.
Damn, I see more legs on this glass than a stripper.
This isn't.
Well, makes the recycling cans instead of bottles.
Yeah.
And what
You know
sucks in
what?
my area is that we don't get no glass bottling fee, and we don't get, but like I think it's like 10 cents a can.
But you know, I still save a lot of my bottles though for future recycling for my home brewing. If I get back into home brewing, at least I know I have something to start with when I'm home brew.
Right.
So and I always save like Sam Adams. I'm saving my Three Floyds bottles because they're pretty good, and I'm saving all my hard root beer ones because I bought enough of that. So if I get back into home brewing, I'll have that to start out with. But the majority of the ones that I've had, I've gotten rid of.
I took a picture of my desk, and let me focus in here. Those are all the labels that I've taken off of bottles and put on my desk as of thus far.
Oh. Yeah, and as far as home brewing, Chris, we're not doing bottles anymore. We're doing the 5-gallon soda canisters.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's the only way to go. I don't see going back.
Yep.
There's less mess. You know, the whole bottling process goes a whole lot faster.
Cheaper.
It's cheaper, easier.
I've only done 22-ounce bottles.
Caps don't pop off.
Yeah, the canisters are just so much easier.
Mhm.
I've actually started looking into the Crowler system, which is the 32-ounce cans.
Right. But then you have to be dedicated to drink all that, right?
Well, if you're brewing it, why not?
His glass is bigger than that.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Willing to throw the gauntlet down, huh?
I am very dedicated.
I hear you.
Yeah, I don't think this is a problem.
I want that mug.
Right.
Oh, me too.
You know, I actually got this mug with a can of beer in it
Oh,
for
really?
$5.
Really?
Yeah, I got it's a Apollinaire mug, and it had a Apollinaire Oktoberfest can that was the same size as the mug inside it, and I got it for like I think it was like $6 out the door.
That's not fair.
I was like, you know what? That is a steal. Not only am I getting a can of Oktoberfest from Apollinaire that's going to fill the glass, but I'm also getting the glass. No, I'm buying it.
Swag.
You're right. I'm like, that's a steal, so I'm buying it. And then come Oktoberfest, I've got my Steins.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Prost,
Thanks.
Oktoberfest. Man, I can't wait for Oktoberfest.
Me either. Come on, October.
Come on, it's still August, guys. Come on.
I'm not rushing the season myself.
Oh, I'm
Hey,
not.
I'm not rushing October either. I turned 41 in October. I'm not even trying.
I'm not rushing October either because I need to get through September first.
Hey, September's our Oktoberfest. I mean, if you actually realize, look at the calendar for Oktoberfest. The Germany Oktoberfest starts at the same weekend that my Oktoberfest lasts, but theirs actually goes 2 weeks longer and goes to the first day of October.
The Germans know how to Oktoberfest.
Right.
Yeah, they do.
And it's natural to fall asleep on the sidewalk over there.
Yeah. Nobody goes, ha ha.
Right, I fall asleep on the sidewalk over here, and people are bitching. If I fall asleep on the sidewalk over there, hey, it's okay, man, sleep it off.
He enjoyed his beer, yeah.
See, that's See, that's the difference between, European culture and American culture. I was over in France back in '90s. And you had people, urinating, in the gutters and stuff like that, and it was no big deal. People were just like, oh, okay, no big deal. Over here, you get busted for what? Public intoxication.
Right.
Sounds like Mexico, Chris. The guys do that in Mexico. It's like, oh, I gotta pee. They just kind of like, woo.
They'll pee on the side of a building and they won't care.
Right.
There.
In Philly, we usually go outside to do that, but whatever. It's Philly. Yeah.
Well, the Mexicans live outside. I'm sorry, that was racist. I didn't say that. My parents were going to retire to Mexico, so there was a lot of research going on. As far as the...
Come on, have we ever been PC on this show? No.
Saying, okay? When somebody watches it later, they don't understand.
Oh, well. You know what? You know how... You know how many people will actually watch this show after it's in rebroadcast? Maybe five. Maybe five.
All of us to find out how drunk we were that last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, the audience isn't... Wait a minute. This is the largest philosophical discussion on the internet about beer and bullshit, okay? Do not forget that for a second, okay? We're very influential. Our audience might not be, it's not millions, but it's all the key beer executives of the world tune in to see where we're going. They're looking for tips on how to improve their breweries. All the politicians watch us to find out if we're going to make fun of them or not.
Well, if that case, Kasich sucks.
Yeah, no shit.
Did you guys see Donald Trump? Donald Trump watches it,
You don't care.
Bernie
It
Sanders.
tosses everybody out.
You know what? The only
Deep
time...
down, I know that to be us. That's all that really matters.
Right.
The only time I want to hear about Trump is when I'm flushing my toilet.
Youch.
On a more important note...
Yes, I've been waiting to hear the consensus on the glass of beer you have in your hand.
It's a beautiful color.
It's a hoppy red ale.
Ooh.
I love the color.
It's a very nice color.
Yeah.
You can see that the head of the beer actually has like the consistency of a roasty or malt. It looks like that it has like a hint of yellow, kind of almost like the outside of an egg yolk. But it smells really inviting. It's very grapefruit. It's very citrusy. You can almost get just a slight hint of pine in it.
What was the name again, Chris? I mean, Scott, I'm sorry.
This is actually, it's the, hence the name, Hoppy. It's the Hoppy Red Ale from Sam Adams.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It's their newer style for the fall season. Red.
Hey, ask them if they've had the Rebel Rouser
I have.
bar.
He can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, that stuff is vicious.
Wait, because I've seen that Sam Adams
Yeah.
is actually coming out with a 16-ounce can of what's called Rebel Raw, and it's going to be a 10% double IPA.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't look at the. I got
Yes, it's a 16-ounce can, and it will become a 10% double IPA.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm finally going to get on board and try some Sam Adams.
They have like 9 different cans lined up for the coming year. They got the Rebel Raw. They got they've got a 6-can or 7-can lineup for nothing but nitro ales. I know.
That's a pretty red beer. I like the look of that. That's a pretty.
That's so red Bernie Sanders would drink it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Well done, King Dab. Well done.
Oh, damn.
Jim Bab, he done it again.
If that's the case, then we need to raise the ABV up to 91.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the sad thing is, no, Bernie would be like, look, we can't have all these flavors of beer while children are starving, right? He would pick the one style, the workers beer, and that would be all that's available.
You're gonna get nothing but a plain lager, son. That's all you're gonna get.
And you're gonna like it.
Yeah, right.
Staghorn beer out of California. That Staghorn beer, this most awful green stuff. Oh.
Let's hear this beer.
I was on Facebook last night, and I posted up this big thing. I don't know if Chris or anybody else had seen it, but I was talking about all the BS politics that everybody was complaining about. And I was like, you know what? In my opinion, all lives matter. Know what? You need to stop this. I might agree with certain aspects of every single candidate, whether or not they're red or they're blue. I said, but all lives matter. Respect our Constitution, our Declaration, etc., etc. I said, but I had admitted that we need to tax the literary rich more than you need to do the rest of society. I said,
You're off the show. You're fired.
Right.
You're fired.
Right. But somebody come back to me and was like, "Oh, you want to tax the rich 90%? How dare you?" I was like, "Oh, did I offend you? Did I pick at your pockets?" I said, "If I did, I didn't pull out 100. I pulled out a dollar bill." Oh, he got so offended.
Well, they used to be taxed. Like.
In the 50s, 1951, they were taxed 92 to 91%.
Exactly.
And how did that work out?
It didn't.
I actually favor a 100. If we're going to have an income tax, I believe it should be 100%. Okay. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Okay.
Might as well fucking be.
This is consistent with my anarchist principles, and let me explain. If you're going to have an income tax, it should be 100%, because the higher the tax rate, the lower the compliance rate. Okay.
Right.
If your income tax is 1%, most people pay it because they don't really care. It's not a big deal. 10%, people start looking for ways to get out of paying it. 20%, you're getting now. There's a whole industry for tax
100%.
shelters.
Ain't nobody paying shit.
By the time you hit 100%,
I like your girlfriend.
There'll be zero compliance.
But did you know at the time only that 1% was taxed? Nobody under that was taxed. So that's what I was implying, was that the 1% should be taxed at 90%. But he had a problem with that. So then I was like, okay, well, look at this point. I said, you think that how many boots that we got over there across the world? I said, it takes X amount of dollars to pay for those people to be over there surveying, teaching, etc., etc.
What?
I said,
what are you talking about?
About all the people that we still go over there in Afghanistan and Iraq. And
I didn't send anybody there, did you?
No, that's exactly it.
So I don't pay for that crap.
Right.
Screw that.
But it still comes out of our shit.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't? Then why are we paying income tax?
Well, they steal from us, and then they spend it on their buddies.
Right.
But it's not our money once they steal it. They just
Right,
steal
because
it.
it goes everywhere else. It disperses.
No, well, sure. The crime bosses, pay their men. So what? Not my, that doesn't justify anything.
But at the same time, the 1% should be taxed, and the rest of the people. Oh, okay. Well, you're helping continue America. Why are we taxing you?
Seriously, the best solution, and I think Jim Babb agrees with me, is zero income tax. Do away with it completely. We don't need it. We got along just fine without it.
Just like the Constitution
We don't
says,
need it.
Tariffs.
Tariffs.
Yeah.
Tariffs and licenses.
Screw the tariffs too.
No.
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 I'm sad that I missed like 30 seconds of conversation. I feel like I missed like an hour.
Scott, I'm Scott. Hey, Scott.
Yes.
You're outnumbered here, bud.
I know.
No, it's fine.
Because
because
we've got
because of the
Bernie
fact that
Sanders.
we know damn well that the government is always going to have a tax flea. So therefore, fuck them. Fuck the rich.
Hey,
No way.
that's me.
If I was fucking the rich, believe me, I'd be having my own microbrewery right now.
See? There you go.
3-4 years ago, we would have been considered amongst the rich.
If I was fucking the rich, I wouldn't be drinking war beer, for Christ's sake.
No doubt. I'd be a rich drunk, not a poor drunk.
Good. In 2007, 2008, we were online to make enough money to put us in to the 1% for that year, and then the bubble hit.
I would never ever in my lifetime be considered into the 1%.
Well, we owned our own company, and we were actually right there doing some really good work, and then it hit, and everything shut. But
My fifth great grandfather got off of a what do you want to call it, a French warship, came over here, he came over here naked, and
my family's from West Virginia. My grandfather doesn't know whose family is.
My family's from West Virginia too, honey. I'm sorry.
That sounds like my family.
My Germans are, anyways.
America, we all came from somewhere.
Right. And it's just what you make within your life.
Exactly. That's why I said we made something. We had something going.
You guys had found the niche to succeed.
I don't want to be taxed 90%. Okay?
Hell no.
I don't want to be taxed 0.01%.
I don't want
Tax
to be
is
taxed
theft.
at all.
Tax is theft.
Theft.
Why would you support theft?
And this is the bullshit part of the show. By the way.
Right.
See, they spend that tax.
I mean, if you really want to think about it, I mean, look back to, what was it, the Civil War. I mean, that's where taxes really started because they called it a revenue. And they wanted to pay for the revenue of the Civil War. Oh, piss off.
Well, wait a minute.
Wait, are you pro-tax or now you're anti-tax?
Southerners really wanted to be taxed very much.
He's anti-pro-tax.
Ha ha.
Which is it?
Tax the rich.
Hey.
Anybody that makes anything under $1 million.
We didn't want to be taxed then. I don't want to be taxed now.
You're
Hey,
not
let's-
going to be
let's
taxed.
let's take
Do
a
you
vote.
make under $1 million a year?
Let's take a vote here and decide.
Wait a
What-
minute.
what
Is this voting vol? Is
Wait a
this
minute.
voting? Is
No,
this
I wanna
voting-
take-
is this
I wanna
voting
take a vote.
voluntary, sir? If
I'm-
this
I'm
vote
with
is
you.
not voluntary, I'm not voting.
Right.
Take a vote. I'm with
No,
Jim.
this-
Let's
This
take
is
a vote.
important. Hold on. We need to decide. We need to take a look at Scott's beer supply, and we need to decide what percentage we want. Okay, and we're going to vote on it, so it's going to be legit. Okay.
Take 90% of it.
I think he's sort of in the 1% of beer hoarders.
Yeah.
Okay. All I'm saying is we all deserve our fair share of his beer supply. Don't you
Whether
agree?
you drink it or not.
Wow.
Yes.
Isn't that fair? I mean,
I think my beer fridge is running a little low. I could
Yeah.
really use some more beer.
You wouldn't
Right.
drink it anyway.
But Jim Bad. Why would you want Scott's beer? It's Sam Adams. You know, you don't like Sam Adams. Jim
Well,
Bad.
my beer is
could-
better, but more beer is better than no beer.
yeah, I could
There you
always
go.
like.
There you
I could
go.
always barter it. I could always barter it to hobos for like, trim my hedges or something.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
The important thing is that I get my fair share of his
Okay.
beer supply. And since he is a 1% beer hoarder, I feel like a 90% beer tax is not unreasonable.
But Scott,
Definitely not unreasonable.
look at
I think we should confiscate all of his beer.
All but 1%. Okay.
do I look like one of the 1% millionaire kind of people? But I could be really, really easily. And you want to take 90% of my money? That's
90%.
Just remember that majority rule is mob rule. Okay,
Well, democracy does not work.
democracy does not work.
Government
Oh,
don't
it works. Oh, it works. It works.
Government don't
It works
work. They're on
really. It works
vacation
good and
most of
hard.
the year.
Yours grind and crush you.
The polar track.
Hey, democracy says I get more beer, so
I like that democracy.
Power to the people.
power to the people.
That's right. That's right.
Power to the brewers.
But what the funny point of me posting up to this last night is that most of the posts I did on the computer, and then I did some posts from my phone. I'm sitting here texting back. I'm sitting over on the couch watching a movie or whatnot, and happens to be that my signature and tagline for my phone happens to be Samuel Adams.
Uh-oh.
So then he was like, you're talking about tax collecting, and yet your tagline happens to say Samuel Adams.
Burn.
I
Feel the burn.
It's
And he's
fair.
like, isn't that ironic? I said, ironic to a point. Yes, I said, if you're going to talk to me about Samuel Adams' history, I said, you're going to be debunked because of the sheer fact that I already know that Sam gave all the taxes that he collected back to his friends that were more or less unfortunate. I said, then he was threatened to be beheaded by the crown because of the fact that he was headed by Governor Hutchinson at the time. That was governor of Massachusetts, appointed by the crown overseas. I said, you're not overseas. You're right here in my neck of the woods. So therefore,
Vodka,
what does this have to do with it?
top of that thing.
He kind of shut up and just like dropped it. He kind of shut up.
In the freezer. The big one.
What was that, Pat? You're gonna stuff a body in the freezer?
No, I'm issuing instructions to my husband in a low voice, and I asked him to put ice in my drink, and he goes, "Where's the ice?" And I said, "In the freezer." And he said, "Which freezer?"
I thought I was just about to die there for a minute.
Yeah, I thought I heard body in a bag and
I'm like, oh shit, there we go.
something.
Don't mess with Pat.
But,
Don't mess with her.
it's just ice cubes, folks. Don't need.
So therefore, I'm going to be chloroformed and stuffed in a freezer. I'm
No,
gonna,
censor the Beer Bullshit Show. Please don't censor.
But I
So
was
how many of you guys actually identify yourselves as libertarians, and how many people identify themselves as,
Other.
God forbid, Republicans, and how many identify themselves as non-aggression principle anarchists?
Oh well, aggression. I can agree with aggression. I'll stab anybody. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, okay.
He's an aggressionist. He already made that clear. He's an aggressionist. There's no...
You gonna tax me?
On Anarchy Ball, he's the black one.
Okay, how many people identify themselves as libertarians, Republicans, or anarchists?
I think all the serious panelists.
Yeah.
I'm a volunteer.
I've been a libertarian since '91, and every year I go towards the anarchy side because of the shit that the government does to us. So.
Yeah, but did you hear that?
Yeah, I keep trying to be a libertarian, but I keep finding myself on the anarchist side of.
There's a quote I used to say. I was like, I vote libertarian, but I party with the anarchists.
Patriotism is now considered racist.
I'm not even voting anymore. I'm sick of voting for my rulers.
What about D's nuts? Can you get on board with
Oh
that?
yeah, see?
All about these nuts.
There it is.
Come on.
Totally on board with that
Come on,
campaign.
sacrifice your principles to vote for these nuts.
I can definitely vote about these nuts.
These nuts for president.
Hey, North Carolina for making him like.
I just couldn't believe that he already got 7%.
He's only 9%.
Oh, I can totally believe it. It's
When you look at
wonderful.
the numbers, though, when you look at the numbers, the people who are so totally dissatisfied with both sides of the aisles, not to mention
But yeah, you gotta also count in the graduates from last year that don't know shit because they're too freaking high, and they don't care, so that they're just oh that was funny.
He's
Isn't
pulling,
it these nuts kids like 16 years old or something?
he's pulling 9% in North Carolina.
Right.
But isn't he like 16 years old?
Yes.
The 15th.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
you know, to
I
illustrate.
should have thought about that shit when I was 16.
Who thinks about these nuts when they're 16 besides boys?
You'd be surprised how 15-year-olds think about these nuts.
Hey, Amy, I started out more like communist. My family is communist. Jimmy drove that nail home by reading the Communist Manifesto, and my father goes, "Oh yeah, I agree with that. I was raised a communist." And he is the one who brought me over to the, I guess, the dark side, you know, and introduced me to libertarianism. And I kind of scooted right past libertarianism, right into anarchist. I was an anarcho-capitalist.
A long way, baby.
And now I consider myself voluntary.
I don't know. I've been told since birth that my mother's great ex-great-grandmother, whatever, had ties with
Pat,
Hitler.
I'll drink to that.
So I'm like, I'm still looking for lineage to Hitler. So I'm just like, okay, well, take over the world. So be it.
I'm just following orders, sir.
Do you feel you're leaning more fascist or communist, Scott? Which really has your heart?
He's a fascist.
Oh, he's a corporatist. He's a corporatist.
First person I could stab.
Come on. He drinks Sam Adams beer, okay? He's a corporatist, okay?
You might consider me a corporatist, but the first person I can stab, unless they're not on my side, I don't give a shit.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's a little awkward, but yeah, there you go.
He's an equal opportunist. Corporatist.
Look at it this way. I mean, you
That's called an honest liberal.
Is there really such thing?
I mean, because of the
I'll
fact
stab
that
you and take your stuff. That's.
Well, shit. I guess it doesn't get any more honest than that.
I mean, look at House of Cards. I'm kind of like that. I'm just like, okay, you don't follow my shit. I don't need you no more. Push you in front of a train.
Yep.
You need to look up the non-aggression principle and deal with your anger issues.
I've been through therapy. It don't work.
It didn't work.
You have good taste in beer, but man, dude, whew.
Pat, he drinks beer. He's dealing with his anger issues. Okay?
This helps me.
Keep him dry. It's all good, right?
Right.
Wait a minute.
He's
Sam Adams.
working through it. He's working through it. It's gonna be okay. He's
Wait a
working
minute.
through it.
No. I think the Sam Adams is the problem. It's brewed in Massachusetts.
Political.
Okay. No,
Political.
he's drinking Massachusetts water, the same as like energy drinks. Okay. There could be something. There could be something in the water. Okay. Stop drinking Sam Adams immediately.
He definitely needs better beer. Oh, James. Yeah, he definitely needs better beer.
Poor Scott, being bombarded by anarchists and libertarians.
It's the bullshit show.
This is the bullshit part of the show.
Oh my God, I love you guys. I hate the fact that we only do this like once a month.
Anyway,
You guys are the tits.
We do it more frequently during the winter because our sorry asses can't get out during the winter.
That's right. That's right. Well, anyway, back to that 15-year-old kid, okay?
Oh, that sounded so bad.
All right. He's just doing his job. He's just doing his job, making a mockery of the presidential of the election, the system that we have.
Well, he's making a mockery of the system that we have because of the sheer fact that he's calling himself D's nuts.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Right.
Okay.
How funny is that?
It is funny. It is funny. President D's nuts.
Fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious.
This
It's
kid
fucking
has
hilarious.
no addition to politics, but he was just like, oh, anybody could run this time because, look, we almost have 300 candidates. Let's run as D's nuts. So, I mean, he writes.
Hey, do you remember when everybody ran for governor of California, including
and that was making a mockery of the election, is the system too.
Right. Remember, even the guy from Different Strokes. What you talking about, Willis? That guy.
Yeah, right.
What's his name?
Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman. Yeah, Even Gary Coleman ran.
And so did D.L. Hughley too. Two comedians on the ballot. They're making a mockery of.
I'm more interested in Ronda Rousey because of the fact that she sat there and said, "Oh, it's funny that you're making a porn off of me," than the public and the government.
Ronda Rousey's awesome just because she can knock a bitch out in 12 seconds.
Did you see that? Did you see her argument with the transgender?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was freaking hilarious.
The transgender female boxer.
Female MMA transgender, yes.
Okay. Yeah. And what did she say to her?
She said pretty much that you have a male body, you have a male inside, that you are not allowed to fight in the female version of the MMA.
Is there a weight class in MMA?
Yes,
yeah,
there is.
Yes.
Yeah, there is. But the thing is, with the females, and with the transgenders, they've already hit puberty, and so they have a different muscle structure and things like that. So I mean, I'm not saying Ronda Rousey can't beat her because I mean.
Well, she could.
I think she probably could.
I want her to beat what is that? Floyd Mayweather.
She might be able to. I mean,
I think she could because she came back. What was it? Within the last 24 hours, and told Floyd Mayweather she makes more in a minute in her fight than he does his whole fight.
Yeah, no, she definitely does. But you know, the only thing is, I don't know. Mixed martial arts is weird. When you have somebody that was born, you know, a dude, you know, trying to fight chicks.
It seems
I don't know, man.
unsportsmanlike.
After the fight called
I've been
domestic
hit by
violence.
a lot of guys, and I don't know.
That's what I said. After the fight, call it domestic violence.
I mean, I suppose I could.
Well, I guess that's up to the MMA people to determine the rules on, right? I mean, they have to make the rules for their sport.
I guess from what I heard is that they deemed her unfit to this transgender to fight in the same ring as but at the same time because of her muscle structure was not the same as a woman.
Well, what they should do is just base their roles on their rules on chromosomes and not say this is gender or whatever. Just say, look,
right.
You got a Y chromosome, you're not in.
Right.
I mean,
you are a girl. You have a traditional vag. You're in.
or we don't have to even address genitalia. Just be like,
okay,
you got a Y chromosome. I'm sorry.
There you go.
You can be whatever gender you want, but this sport is for XX chromosomes or.
I think it's gotten way more complicated than it needed to be. It's all part of the whole PC. Everybody's equal. Nobody can be offended.
Yeah, this purple penguin shit.
You know what? I've got a really, 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 really simple solution to this. If you're born with a vagina,
you're in.
Keep your vagina. If you're born with a dick,
you're in.
Your dick. It's not really, it would save you a lot of fucking money too.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine how much it costs to cut off your dick and build a vagina, or how much it costs to close up your vagina
split it in half and turn it inside out?
Yeah, Amy, but there are hermaphrodites who are actually both.
Well, that could be a separate class.
Well, then, pick a hole or build a pole. I mean,
build a hole.
I would actually like to see transgender hermaphrodite fighting. That would be interesting.
Oh my god.
This is where I bow out.
It's way too much hassle. I mean, my God.
I applaud people trying to find themselves and make life and everything.
Go find yourself. Go grow your wings. Be a butterfly. Do whatever the hell you have to do. But I mean, don't fuck up my fights. I like to keep shit simple.
But yet, I mean, nobody who enters the ring with her. Did you see that fight with her versus the woman that made fun of her dad or stepdad? That
yeah, Ronda Rousey fucking owned her ass, man.
Boom! That was it.
The fuck out of that broad.
That was it, man. It was like 12.5 seconds, and she just annihilated her.
That's because she's awesome.
Yes.
She's the best at what she does.
And I applaud her.
You know what? This would be really cool if it came out that it turns out Ronda Rousey used to be a dude too. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
You know what?
Let's start spreading that rumor just for the hell of it, just to see what happens.
She also
might as well be.
Marvel Films.
She's a scary fucking broad, man. I'd never fucking hate that girl.
She called up Marvel Films and said that she demanded the role because they were making a Miss Marvel film. She demanded the role for that film.
So it's some East German.
Based on her acting experience, or what?
I was like, can she act? I said, if she can't act, I don't want her as Miss Marvel. I don't give a shit.
But no, me at 5 foot tall, 115 pounds. Good God, I can't imagine me trying to fight a guy.
Oh Jesus!
Ronda Rousey.
Everybody else on camera right now weighs more than me and her. Damn. I'm 6 foot tall and I only weigh 140 pounds.
Shoot, it was 1980 when I weighed that.
Oh God, see.
I need to take you to the gym.
I'm screwed.
Take you to the pasta bar.
I was saying, or the beer garden. I'll put weight on you.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing though. Amy may be small, but I bet she can outdrink a lot of dudes under the table.
I want to find out. I want to find out.
I'm going to challenge that one of these days.
I bet you she can outdrink a lot of dudes under the table.
And it's not a competition. It's not a competition.
No.
But that doesn't mean you don't want to win.
No.
Oh, no. I'll make it a competition. This sounds fun. Right.
And I bet I will win. Even my 140-pound ass will win.
Especially,
no way.
Oh yes.
Especially.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right, we have a challenge.
I earned the beer.
I love it.
Especially a woman that likes IPAs. Come on.
Oh, I'm going to start her off with the 10% stout.
And that scares me.
No, it don't scare you. I mean, it's going to be delicious.
It
That's
says
the
num
point.
num.
That's the point. Oh, this is good.
If she's over there thinking, Scott, 10%, that's all you got?
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. I was just drinking,
And
it
with
wasn't
a
too long ago.
28%?
I think I was doing 17% not too long ago.
I was doing 28%.
No, I've never done 28%.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'm bailing out. Good
All right,
time.
man. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, Jim Bab.
Sorry for all the commie jokes.
Oh, you're good.
It's just a bullshit part of the show. Don't worry about it.
Jim knows I'm gonna drink him under the table one of these days.
Oh,
I
it'll
can't
happen.
wait. I can't wait to see how that goes.
It'll happen.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Either way. All right, guys. Good night.
Night. Night.
Besides me and Pat, anybody under the table, I can definitely see Amy drinking anybody under the table. Besides me and Pat.
Yeah, I have skills. I used
I
to
bet
go.
you do.
I used to go play pool with a guy who was the state champion of California, and it was a serious training exercise for me not to be wasted by the end of the night.
Nice.
Yes, and having people buy you beers,
Nice.
beer after beer after beer. Yeah, it
Nice.
was great training.
Pat,
Yes, sir.
4%ers don't count.
Well, actually, it was Arizona.
4%ers definitely do not.
Arizona, and that was back in the 70s. Okay.
Yeah, back in the 70s. What?
Nice play. Damn it.
Yeah. You were 30 then, right?
Shit, no, it's 18.
18.
Oh, hey, I'm an old lady.
Just for
I know
you,
you're old.
Chris.
That's
I'm
what
a lady.
Chris,
Amy, you don't look your age.
Yeah. I mean, sir.
can you see that color?
I'll be 41 here in a couple weeks.
You'll be alright.
I'll be 40. I'll be 43 in a couple of days.
You'll be alright.
But you're still really hot for 43.
Don't sweat
I'm
it.
younger than all of you.
My wife's listening.
It's a compliment.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Chris, I'm gonna show you the true color of the Utopia.
Hey, Amy, my wife doesn't disagree with you at all.
Yeah, Chris, you're holding up pretty good. I agree.
Oh.
Hey, Chris, the thing is, you're not supposed to get ugly with
Well,
age.
mine
You're
is-
you're
mine-
supposed to be beautiful.
I'm supposed to age with grace and whatever. I don't know.
I'm like I said, I'm 41 years old, married with 3 kids. Like I said,
It's pretty, Scott.
That is a beautiful red color.
That is a pretty beer.
Hey, Scott.
Flashlight is like awful.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's very bright. It's an LED light. I only use it to assimilate. Right, it said beer colors.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, sir.
I'm drinking this.
Okay, what are you drinking? Oh, the Hefeweizen.
The Dunkenweiser.
Awesome. What does Jim have against
And I was
it?
wondering what you thought of it.
There you go, fine sir. I got one right here.
I've
I've already had one, and
I was wondering what you thought of it.
it's almost. I do understand the difference between the Dunkelweizen and the Hefeweizen, and you know, I already had their pumpkin batch series beer. And that's what I was almost comparing it to, because of the sheer fact that the Weizen style beers are very similar. They are either more maltier, more wheat, or more along the lines of the how do I want to say this? The yeast characteristics, more along the lines of a Belgianesque style yeast. But I don't know. I liked the Dunkelweizen this year more than I did the previous year, because I also had the previous year, and I honestly wanted it more maltier than I did more Belgianesque, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling you've had a few too many Sam Adams.
I know their brand. That's the point, and it's just like I can pinpoint what they're doing and where they're going wrong. I've also have affiliated to the company 3 different times, and they have come out with my ideas 3 different times, and I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to come out with them, do it this way. And they run on their own style, and they run on their own terms, and I'm like, no. If you're going to do it this way, because if you do it this way, you're going to accumulate more money. And they're like, well, we don't do it this way, because if we do it this way, we have to do this, we have to do this. You are a brewer. As a brewer, you're not only brewing beer that you love, but at the same time, you're brewing beer that you want to brew for your customers, your patriots. So therefore, listen more to your patriots.
Go ahead and say it, Scott. They need to make money.
They need to brew beer to the patriots to make money.
Are you talking about Sam Adams?
Boom.
But
Yes.
but remember, Scott is a corporatist. You know, he's all in it for the money. You know, screw the little guy. You know, he's all in it for the money.
You gotta sell to your customers. Please the customers, and you will get paid.
I agree.
And get a free gas mask while you're at it.
Yeah.
Oh, no cigar. You got to pay extra for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you want to make money in this world, you got to have a supply and demand.
Right.
If you don't have a supply and demand, you're not going to make any money. So therefore, if that brand loses supply because there is no demand for it, then it's going to fail. So I'm like, okay, well, do this, do this, do this. They did it, But at the same time, I'm like, is it too late? Is it too early? Is it too... That's part of the corporate roar.
Yeah.
Weren't you the one who mentioned Hardywood earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
I had the Hardywood gingerbread stout right here.
And?
Right here. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
How about the bourbon barrel?
I have not had the bourbon barrel version yet.
But
I know I'm missing out. I can't get any of their beers up here.
I think I'm gonna put that one on my birthday. I mean, not my my Christmas wish list.
I'm gonna send you one of those for Christmas.
No.
Chris, definitely. That is one of the most coveted beers in Virginia. Trust me.
That I want to put it on top. That is the most covenant beer.
And it's delicious.
Because, here, let me see if I can show it. I think I showed it earlier, but I don't know.
So, Pat, are you still brewing?
We've taken a short break until we get the filtration system for the house put in. I'm not buying 5 gallons of water or 10 gallons of water.
I'm just not really sure how to take you yet. You're kind of difficult.
There you go. Hardywood gingerbread stout, right in the middle.
No, that's not the bourbon barrel gingerbread stout.
No, that's the original.
Yes, that's not nearly as good as the bourbon barrel gingerbread stout.
Yeah, I wonder why I couldn't get it last year.
Yeah, Chris, our water is really acidic and a lot of minerals. So we're not making beer from water from the tap until we get the filtration system in.
Okay.
Hence the reason why I don't brew here in Ohio, because we are in a slab of limestone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's other things too. We have minerals. When I had my hair done, ladies said, "Man, you have a lot of minerals in your hair."
Right.
Yeah. It's,
All right. Hey, I understand.
Our water up here is chlorified.
Well, we have well water, but
Oh, there you go.
yeah, but I wish.
Oh wow, the town that I live in, they refuse to fluoridate the water.
Good for them.
Good. They've refused to fluoridate the water? Good.
Yes.
Good.
I live in an amazing town.
Well, yeah. I still don't understand
Yes.
why they let them put fluoride in the water to begin with. You know, other than strong arming and, you know, lying and pressure.
Right.
and all
I mean,
that
we
crap.
get all our fluoride from China anyway.
Right.
I don't understand why I'm still goddamn crazy though.
By nature, sweetheart. By nature.
They don't fluoridate the water. I hunt and fish and do my own thing and drink craft beer, and I'm still damn crazier than a shithouse rat.
I personally have gone through what do you want to call it? Child middlehood serial killing because of the fact that I tried to off my dad, and it didn't work. I told my mom, I said, you know what? Deal with your own creations.
Amy, you
Yes.
know why?
Pardon?
Chris Fry.
You know why you're crazy?
Why?
It's called government.
Ha 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 ha.
No, because I hate all of them.
Exactly.
It's
And as
natural.
long as they exist, that's why we're crazy.
I'm only crazy by their standards.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
No, there's no
standards.
standards.
According to my standards, I'm awesome.
There you go.
Their standards.
Yep.
their standards that they're crazier than we are.
Well, they think we're going to follow them. Ha ha!
That ain't happening. Be right back.
We don't go around bombing innocent people with drones. Now that's
No,
crazy.
we don't go around
We
killing
don't
innocent people with drones. We
don't
don't attack
throw
other
in jail
countries for random reasons.
and we
don't
don't throw
nation
throw
build.
people in jail. We don't throw people in jail for possession of a freaking drug.
A plant.
Oh,
Or a plant,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
a plant?
I can't
Well,
believe they approved
in my case, any drug.
That pisses me off so much. They approved OxyContin for 11-year-olds.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can approve
that's
drugs for
That's
little
crazy.
kids, but at the same time, they can throw you in jail for weed. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I do not. I don't smoke pot. I probably should. It'd probably make me a little bit less high strung. But I don't. But it's ridiculous the shit that the fucking government does. And even in my town, I mean, I love my town. My town is very common sense government, but it's not common sense to the point where they still take, if somebody gets busted for pot, they still take their money and throw it towards other things. It doesn't make sense. The war on pot is ridiculous.
Yeah. No argument from us. Well, it's late, and Hubs has to get up and go to work in the morning, so I'm out. Chris, it was
You
fun
leaving us,
spending
Pat?
time with you.
All right, thank you, Pat.
Have a happy birthday, okay, dude?
All right, I will try.
Cheer up, damn it.
I will. I
know
will.
there's lots of things to be
once
bummed out, but, you know.
Once I have my own microbrewery, I'll be the happiest guy in the world and the drunkest.
You should have your own microbrewery.
And I told him as soon as he does, I'm going to collaborate a brew with him because I've got a great recipe that I want to do with Chris.
And I got a great recipe that I want to do. Period.
Chris, I hope you partner with non-aggression principle people.
I should.
That leaves me out because I'm aggressive.
Love you, dude. Bye.
Leaves me I want to kill most people in the world, but I'm not allowed.
Yeah, you're allowed, but the only problem is that, Scott, that you get caught, or you could be like the guy that shot those two people in
Virginia, the reporters.
Yeah. What the?
Right. He was an excremental employee, and then he pop. Okay. What did the reporter, the woman reporter, didn't want to have sex with you? Did the reporter's camera guy was her boyfriend? Okay, pop. Okay, I don't know.
So, yeah, that was some.
That was more fun than
that
fun.
was right here in Virginia with me. So.
Didn't he shoot himself?
I mean, if you're gonna go out and think about killing somebody, you might as well just shoot yourself in the head first.
Yep.
Right, just be one and done. Pop.
Yeah. If you.
I mean, it makes everything a lot easier if people have to go into the
That whole thing made no sense at all.
It didn't. Okay, America, listen to me. Since
the guy was butthurt.
Right.
So he shot up his fellow employees. I mean, really?
Right.
Well, that's why I don't know if it was a love triangle or if it was something more.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything like that. You know, it was just God was fucking butthurt.
Right. And, you know.
He made a lot of excuses, which made a whole lot of no sense.
Okay, America, listen to me. I'm the voice of reason here. Okay, if you're gonna go out and you're gonna kill somebody,
Chris being Jesus.
If you're gonna kill somebody, hey, I'm no Jesus. Believe me. Jesus said, "Turn the other cheek." There are some times where I have.
Which one, the left or right?
That I spark the hoe. Okay, but anyway, the voice of reason here. Okay, if you're gonna go kill somebody, kill yourself first.
Right.
Okay. All right, because first of all, okay, I do not want to pay for the rest of your life incarcerated in prison. Okay. All right, just do me a favor. I'd rather pay for your burial, okay, than the rest of your life in prison. Okay. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. In the end, it's cheaper.
But then again, sacrificial sacrifice looks better on you as I'm going to give my life for other people. Looks better on you when you walk that pearly gate.
If you're gonna go out killing a bunch of people and try to do suicide by a cop, at least pick up the pedophile list. You know, go through and pick up.
I don't know, because everybody, it's considered to be everybody in the world has sinned because of the fact that sex is a sin. So I mean, my mom has always.
I'm talking about sex with children.
Right.
If you got a pederast rap,
My mom always told me, hey, if you're gonna go out, go through a mall with an M16 and spray them all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way that my mom had raised me. I mean, it was just like, really? You're fucked up. I told her to her face. I'm
gonna say, if you're gonna kill somebody, at least kill, people that
somebody worth
deserve it. Yeah.
Right.
Like politicians.
Right. I said, if I ever go out, I'm going down to D.C. and I'm going to just blow the shit up out of it. I mean,
don't say that too loud.
I will. I will say it loud and proud. I will wind up in jail, and I don't care.
Off of YouTube.
These people have no affiliation with me. I will say it now. It's just that that's a clarification.
We don't know this guy. He just randomly showed up on a podcast.
He's the lone wolf of the operation. You crack me up, Scott. You really
do. I'm the joker of the crowd. Thank you very much.
You'll be performing again next week.
and I thought I was the retard of the bunch.
No, not by a long shot.
No.
Hey, we can share the title.
I'm a clown for a reason. I'm a juggalo.
Oh my God, you're a self-proclaimed juggalo?
Yes, I am. I admit I have been sprayed in the eye by Shaggy 2 Dope in 1996.
I'm sorry.
I know. I know.
So
I tatted it up on my arm, Juggalo. It is very big across my whole arm. And I was drunk, and the G's are actually backwards.
It's you got too much of that ICP, back in the day.
I'm a Guar nerd, but at least I'm cool.
I listen to Guar. Nowadays, I listen to nothing but sea shanties and drinking songs, and I'm like, hey, way up she rises, way, hey. Anyway. Stick him in a bed with the captain's daughter, way, hey, and up she rises, way.
Oh my lord. I should say bless your heart, but...
Yeah, I know. But then I listen to a lot of Irish drinking songs, and I'm like, where is the Irish rum?
At least Amy's cool though. She's wearing a Motorhead shirt,
I know.
Fucking Lemmy, man. He fucking rules, man. What's up?
Well, and I'm Irish.
And she's Irish.
Good.
My wife's half Irish.
Oh, if we're gonna go that route, then hold up.
I'm sorry.
So.
I'm Irish and German, which makes me kind of fucked up.
I'm part German. I'm part German too. Part German, Italian, freaking. I've got the fascism plate right there. Native American, Cherokee actually, So I'm just a mixed bag of goodies. So.
Chris has got it on now, though. He's 6'8".
Yes, I is.
Kind of dark, kind of light, kind of pretty, and got a hell of taste in beer.
As my wife would say, I'm one tall ass drink of water.
Chris with the win. I can't imagine even standing next to you. You're like almost taller than me, Chris.
My wife is almost as short as you, Amy.
How tall are you?
5 foot.
Okay,
I'm fine. Shit, you can match me shot for shot. I mean, we can go. I do have a serious CSB, and I do have the Irish whiskey. We can go shot for shot.
Maybe on another show.
Okay. Anybody other than Chris? Oh yeah, I'll go drink for drink.
Okay.
Me and Chris? Nah, I don't know about that one.
I have a Otter Creek, a Russian Imperial Stout from 2012, 10%, and we can go shot for shot. I mean, I will throw a shot of Jameson in every shot.
Oh, no, Jameson's. We're from the wrong side of the island.
See?
You gotta go Bushmills.
No, Jameson is where I roam because of the fact that I'm like, Irish whiskey, here we go.
No, you gotta go Bushmills, the right side of the island.
Wow.
Damn, you half-ass.
I don't know. I'm a bourbon guy. I don't like whiskey and stuff.
If you want to go bourbon, then shit, we can go. I got a $50 bourbon barrel in there in the room. What is it? Oh shit. What do I got in there?
Oh.
I got so much whiskey.
I'm trying to zoom back in on you.
That's it. That's about it.
No, you gotta have Bushmills, not Jameson. Yuck. Jameson's like the English version of like laugh or whiskey. Let's have Bushmills.
Now, if we're gonna do that, then shit, I will buy a single bottle of Bushmills and I would put it ounce for ounce.
I
Road
can tell you,
trip.
Bushmills,
Bye.
Bushmills, I will
Yep.
take you ounce for ounce.
Yep.
Road trip.
Oh yeah, it's
Road
on.
trip.
Road trip.
It's on.
It's all like Donkey Kong.
And I would even find a American Russian Imperial Stout, and I will say, okay, here, Russian Imperial Stout, because of the fact that I feel that it is an Irish tradition to do Jameson in an Irish whiskey.
Oh, good God. You guys are making me want to, like, bust into my stone.
Oh, here we go. There we go. Bust into it.
Come on.
She won't
But
do it.
it's so
She won't do
good.
She won't do it. Leave her alone.
Maybe for another show.
See, there it is.
Let's,
You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it.
does anyone else have any stone chai?
Let me check my closet. Hold on.
So, Amy, I have a question for you. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's not well. It's not well publicized. Okay, I don't put my whole life. But I did briefly serve in the U.S. Army myself. Okay. Now, what I experienced in the service brought me actually to libertarianism. Okay. Would you say that your experience in the service kind of led you down that same path too, or did you find it other way?
I found it in other ways.
Okay. Because
I
for me, my experience in boot camp, I was just like, how can these people just brainwash these poor people? Okay.
It started there, but I didn't understand it. I was too young.
Okay.
It took me a long time, and it took me a while to evolve before I truly understood it.
I was 18 when I went in. Okay.
I was 18 when I went into.
And I don't know. Maybe I learned quickly. Okay. And maybe it was because I had a stepfather who served in Vietnam, and he just was totally adamantly against me going in. Okay. And besides my wife thinking I'm and besides, my wife said I look sexy in a uniform, but that's a different story. Okay. All right. Okay. I just didn't, I agree with a lot of stuff that they were just putting these poor recruits through. Okay. And I got. And within 2 weeks of getting out, I kind of searched my new political, lifeline or whatever, and I came across the Libertarian Party, and that's where it went from there. I mean, people, come to different terms to where.
I mean, the thing is, Chris, I didn't understand when I enlisted what I was doing to myself or to my family. I didn't understand what I really signed up for. I didn't understand who I was willing to kill. I didn't realize who I was willing to die for. And after being stationed with at Fort Campbell with 101st Airborne Division, I didn't really understand until I met a lot of people who have been there, and no, I really didn't want to go there. I mean, I realized that it wasn't my interest, it wasn't my family's interest, it wasn't my country's interest. It didn't make sense anymore. It took me a long time. I mean, it's something that you and I could probably talk about for probably weeks on end. It's hard to talk about on the computer. But,
yeah, I know.
But no.
But yeah, I know. I was just kind of curious because I've known a lot of people over the years that have come from the same background.
Sounds like my time on the streets. I'll just say that much.
So that aspect, okay, that eventually came to the same conclusion we came to. So that's where I was getting at. I'm sorry.
But on the more happier forefront, the oldest beer that I have in my closet happens to be a Founder's Breakfast Stout, and it's from 2012.
Oh.
And did you know that Michigan themselves is getting rid of the baby on the front of the bottle?
Yeah, I knew they've been trying to do that for a while. They banned it in a few states.
Michigan is going to be the
Which
first
is
company.
ridiculous. Because I mean, I think Founder's Breakfast Stout is actually a pretty good beer.
And I'm going to applaud them by doing it in a Founder's glass.
Too much coffee for me.
Oh God, I love coffee. Depending on what brand.
I hate coffee.
I want coffee beer right now.
I don't like coffee beer.
I am so excited because Dunkin' has their coffee and pumpkin stout out now, and I'm like, oh.
And it smells incredible.
I don't like coffee beer, and I don't like chili beer.
I love coffee beer. I would love a coffee beer right now.
And I'm going to do one better because I'm going to add a little shot of Jameson to it.
Oh my God, you evil man!
He just ruined it.
Beer!
No, don't, no. Oh God, Jameson! Ah! It should have been Bushmills.
If I had it.
You spawned with Satan.
Now you sound like my mother.
The gods will not look fondly on you. The beer gods are going to frown on you right now. Jameson. Oh, God. Mm. I might as well go to the strip club and throw up. I I'm just gonna drink my Guar beer over here and be sad because he's drinking Jameson's. Ugh.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Now you know my level of income.
Yeah, he's in the 1%.
I think Bushmills is cheaper than Jameson.
That's true.
Yeah. Yuck.
Then I wouldn't want to drink Jameson or Bushmills because it's cheaper than Jameson's. I mean, if it's bottom shelf at the store, then that means it's bottom shelf. It's bottom.
If it's bottom shelf at the store, that means
It's bottom shelf.
my good old
It's
friend
bottom
there, Scott, is part of the 1%.
Bushmills.
That's just like saying, okay, well, I'm going to go in and no, I'm not going. I'm going to go in for a tequila and I'm going to buy El Toro.
Ew.
El Toro's not
Ew.
Ugh!
exactly.
Ugh!
Yeah.
But then again, I don't drink tequila
Well,
either.
if I'm going to go in, I'm going to buy a bourbon. What
I don't know.
bourbon am I
A
going
good
to buy?
margarita is pretty.
What
Yeah, only if it's in a margarita.
What
Right.
bourbon? What bourbon would you guys buy?
I don't drink bourbon. I drink scotch.
Okay. Oh, Scotch. Very nice.
Mm.
You're
All right.
a cultured lady. Very nice.
All right, ladies and germs. About to wrap.
What bourbon do you pick up?
About to wrap this show up. Thank you, Amy, for coming on. Thank you, Jessica, for hopping on. Thank you, Mr. Scott White, for.
Much
I
delight.
appreciate it, and thank you to Pat and James Babb as well for coming on this show. The next show is the Wednesday after Labor Day, and happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
I'll be 43, unfortunately. But anyway, I fair adieu to everybody, and thank you to my one or two viewers on the show tonight. And I'm fair adieu to everybody, and
Happy birthday, Chris. I'm really excited to send you some Christmas beers.
I will be looking forward to those Christmas beers as well.
But it's kind of lame to send you beers this time of the year, you know. Nothing really fun. Everybody gets pumpkin beers, you know. So I mean.
True. So, and I can get I have pumpkin beers up the yin yang. By the time the October show comes around, I'll be up to my ears in pumpkin beers anyway, so.
But I can tell you, my Christmas beers are exemplary.
Okay.
If it's from where I think so, yes, they will.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and I'm signing off.